in timeout. I mean, that's what we're acting like, a little child. You're going to have a chance to be heard, but you're looking at 20 years in prison. I'd be polite if I would be fair for me.
You can call the probation officer.
He's present, John.
You're lucky. I'm not going to come out and get you. This is where all the action is. There's 11 minutes. You need to be in this room at 9, sir.
Yes, sir. Also, sir.
You're looking at a burglary of habitation. You're on probation. That's up to 20 years in prison. I'd be here early.
Yes, sir.
I know if it were me. There's a second amended motion to revoke probation that's been filed that has added several things this court is not real happy about. You're on my watch, on my probation terms, and I've got a motion to revoke probation that is alleging 11 separate grounds of violations. Do you understand? The last 3 here, failing to complete the drug intervention program. And because is that important? Well, the next ground is you're providing urine samples through the probation office when we test you, and you're getting tested positive for synthetic marijuana on my watch. Oh, yes, you did.
It was marijuana.
It was synthetic marijuana.
I thought it was THC. It was just
That's why you're not the expert.
yes.
Okay. Synthetic marijuana on my watch? Are you kidding me?
I didn't.
That's...
Sir, I
No. You will get a fair chance to explain. There is
Right out of the gate, the judge isn't just upset about the crime. He's frustrated by the pattern. And that matters in probation cases. Courts usually give probation as a second chance. But when violations keep stacking up, judges start seeing it less as mistakes and more as someone ignoring the court entirely. And notice how the judge keeps bringing up 20 years. That's pressure. He's reminding the defendant exactly how high the stakes really are.
no way I should be taking bodily fluids and testing them, and you test criminal actions. That's a crime. To possess this is a crime. When it's in your system, it's possessing. You don't have to have it in your pocket. If I test you, like I'm allowed to test you any damn time I want, this is what happens. We find this too often. People make promises when they said, I'll be on probation. I swear I will follow the terms and conditions of probation, which you did. You made that swearing. And I've got 11 separate grounds I'm looking at where you have violated probation. You see anything wrong with it? 20 years in prison. Does that strike you as serious? It does. You shouldn't even be spitting on the sidewalk. Illegal. I mean, if it were me. But, well, this thing has gone on. Looks like you made some pleas of true last December to illegally possessing MDM. See, these are drugs. Once again, that's synthetic marijuana was what you pleaded true to last year. And then now you got the plea of the frustrated idiots. So we hadn't dealt with.
This is where things get brutally serious. The judge is explaining something many people don't realize. On probation, even a failed drug test can become a major violation because probation conditions are strict contracts with the court. And with 11 alleged violations, at this point, the court isn't asking, did he mess up? The court is asking, can he be trusted at all? So let me ask you, if someone keeps violating probation over and over, should the system keep giving chances? Or is there a point where enough is enough?
First amended. So we've got 8 is committing the offense of aggravated robbery.
That was refused. We took care of that. I think it was dismissed, so we got rid of that. That's been abandoned.
All right. Then second amended is failing to complete the drug JCDI providing a urine sample that showed positive for synthetic marijuana, failing to submit to alcohol and or drug screening. What happened on that?
Your Honor, while he was in the JCI orientation, he had a color code, and he was called on March 3rd and March 5th.
He refused to come in?
No, sir.
I'm sorry. I was asking this man, Mr. Rue. You don't follow any rules, do you? You don't follow rules of decorum, of proper behavior, of not committing crimes, of probation orders. I can see it didn't take me long. I know what you are. You like to control your environment. You're the boss. It's on your terms. Not anymore. Go ahead. While you were rudely interrupted, I want you to proceed. Thank you, sir.
During the color code, according to the records, he failed to show up on March 3rd, 2025, and March 5th, 2025.
Okay. I've got this second amended alleges 11 separate grounds. We dealt with a couple of them already, but I didn't think I'd ever see you again. I thought you learned your lesson.
Glad to see you again, Ron.
You're glad to see me?
You said I didn't plan to see you again.
Well, science got you. The testing got you. But it's your choice.
Oof. Did you catch that interruption? The judge immediately shut it down because courtroom behavior matters a lot, whether fair or not. Judges often read interruptions as disrespect or lack of accountability, especially during probation hearings. And notice the psychological shift here. The judge says, I know what you are. That means this hearing is no longer just about paperwork. It's about credibility, attitude, and whether the court believes this defendant will ever follow rules consistently.
All right. I have railed on it. It's time. And here's why I'm upset about it. Because you got a 93% success rate. Only 1 in 14 probationers fail. I wanted 100%. I want everybody to succeed. That's why I'm disappointed. Because you made promises to me when we put you on probation. Promise to follow you. I did. Don't worry about it. I've got 11 separate reasons you didn't. Well, if it were me, 20 years in prison would be enough for me. I wouldn't have to have a judge rail on me about this could happen, and make sure you do well. You wouldn't even have to tell me that. I'd be way ahead of the ball game. I'd be making sure I came to probation 30 minutes early, and I ran like the wind if I even sniffed a drug around me. And et cetera, et cetera. What are we going to do today?
I don't know.
Well, it's
Judge, if we recommended he go back to JCDI, he couldn't complete it because his probation would have expired, and so the only option is penitentiary time. Is what I've offered him. Just minimum penitentiary time, but I have offered him 10 times.
Or could we consult with probation and see if there's possibly any other ideas to get Mr.
How much time does he have credits, please? Let me see. Pre-sentence report.
Yes, sir.
It would be sometime. Restitution was $1,040. Did that get paid?
Yes, sir. No, we paid it all off.
Okay. What are we suggesting here today?
I'll give 2 years then down.
What?
This part is fascinating because the probation officer is basically saying, we tried rehabilitation already. That's huge. Courts generally prefer treatment programs over prison when possible. But once someone fails those programs repeatedly, the options start shrinking fast. The judge even sounds disappointed more than angry here. Like he genuinely wanted this guy to succeed. And honestly, that may be what makes this harder to watch. Sometimes the harshest courtroom moments happen when patience finally runs out.
2 years spend time. Leave him in there for a little bit and so he can see what it's like.
He probably wouldn't stay long.
No.
How much? Yeah, 600 days.
4-9.
But he's done over 9 years probation, and
So,
And he does have a little under 4 months left on probation, Your Honor.
this is terrible. It's a crime. And
Is it possible?
we've dealt with him. If it wouldn't be a second amended, I mean, we've got 3 motions. 3 times he's made mistakes. I open the door and I go, I want the Khalil Robinson rule, please. And I open the door for one. It's what's fair for one is fair for all. Look, this is my 3rd or 4th time, but Khalil had 3 separate, 4 counting being placed on probation. Then he's got a motion, then a first amended motion, and then a second amended motion. And you let him go. And that's me too. But can I have Mr. Robinson's rule? You are fair, aren't you, Judge? How do I answer that? And of all things, this is a serious crime. I don't know what got into you to synthetic marijuana. Give me a break. We're gonna catch you at that.
So now I speak my piece.
Yeah. What are we gonna do first, and then you have an opportunity to be heard. I know you like to control things. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. When it's Greeks, but you're on probation. You gotta. Here's what's ironic. You're violating the same rules I have to follow, and I follow them, and I'm not worried about going to prison. You ought to be. But any one rule, but when you commit a crime, that's a serious crime.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yes, Your Honor, if I may.
Yes, ma'am.
Despite Mr. Robinson, I know he never obviously got started with JCDI. There are classes that he has continued to attend. I believe he did provide the attendance records.
This is a critical moment. The judge is making it clear probation isn't about doing a few things right at the end. It's about consistency the whole way through.
Now this is a risky move. The defendant is trying to compare his case to another person's outcome, basically arguing, if that guy got another chance, why not me? Legally, every case is different, but emotionally, that argument can either humanize a defendant or completely backfire. And you can tell the judge is wrestling with consistency versus consequences. He wants to be fair, but he also doesn't want the courtroom to look like there are no real penalties for repeated violations.
With 11 violations on record, the court is questioning credibility more than effort. So ask yourself, does last-minute progress really outweigh a long pattern of breaking the rules?
In addition,
what did he learn? Because once again, just because you go to JCDI and you didn't finish it, that's not enough for me. You have terms that you've been required to follow since 2016, and you're going to interrupt me? Do I have to put you in timeout? I mean, that's what we're acting like, a little child. You're going to have a chance to be heard, but you're looking at 20 years in prison. I'd be polite if I would be fit for me. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. In addition, Khalil has completed all community service and current on fees and paid restitution. Your Honor, he's just so close to the finish line, and I would hate to, obviously, someone to have a conviction on their record. But I understand
but if it was the first one, he's got 11 violations on it.
Will the court consider a sanction?
But that is the minimum. And he'd probably get out. Realistically.
And there it is. The hearing gets set. That means the judge isn't ready to make a final ruling yet. But the danger level just skyrocketed. The defendant turned down the offer on the table. And now the judge has full authority to decide the outcome after hearing all the evidence. That's a gamble. Sometimes hearings save people, and sometimes they make things much worse. What do you think? Should the judge have given one last chance since probation was almost over, or were the repeated violations enough to justify prison time?
He'd probably check in and be checked out. But after the 3 separate motions filed, we've got to, I can't open the door. He had to have learned his lesson by now, or else this is treacherous territory. because I try to be fair. And I get called on this one. They say, I want the Khalil rule. And I go, well, I do try to be fair. And how do I answer that? I mean, we're 11 violations this time. Anything else? You know what? Here's what we'll do. Let's just have a hearing on it. Then I'll make the decision. If he had an offer, y'all don't want it, sit over there, they'll leave, and we'll just have a hearing. That's what we'll do. And I'm not bound to 2 weeks. Okay. I get it. Drug test. We're going to have a hearing. Your bond.
And that's how it wraps up what started as a chance at freedom ends with the court seriously considering prison time. This case really highlights the reality of probation. It's an opportunity, but also a strict contract. Break it too many times, and the system stops giving chances. Do you think the judge was too harsh, or was this outcome inevitable?